Welcome to the table. My name is Max.
I'm Doolin.
And we are really putting ourselves out there today.
Come at me in the comments, brah. I'm hoping that this will be an annual May video.
It's gonna be May. Welcome back. I'm assuming you just clicked off of our top 20 through 11
they probably only
videos.
clicked on this one because it's the top 10.
If you haven't watched it already, make sure you go back and check it out. There's some excellent games included in that number 20 through 11 section, but we're about to get into our top 10 favorite board games of all time as of May 4th, 2021.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it.
Go first?
I'll let you. Yeah, you told me you wanted the last one, or you wanted me to have the last one.
I do. I honestly do. Because
I think we all.
Better.
Well, never mind.
Number 10 is a banger. If
banger?
I will say I love this game.
Bang?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
That would be funny though.
I never played it.
Starting things off, you're gonna see my top 10 is filled with extremely thematic games.
Is this Last Night on Earth?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
This game is one of the most thematic games I've ever played. It makes you, and its whole point is to make you feel like you're in a crappy zombie film.
Yep.
Like on purpose.
It works.
And it's so good. Like it's a whole small town feel. You flip over these tiles randomly to choose the town essentially, and it's made up from everything from the school to the police station to a
diner,
random
whatever,
farm,
yeah.
like all of those like random things that you would find in a small town in any type of movie or show type of thing like that. And one player controls all these zombies while everybody else plays as your stereotypical zombie film characters, and it's like
your prom king, your prom queen, they're dating.
Yeah.
It's like,
there's the deputy, there's the sheriff's
son.
The baker, like all these. I don't know why that's the baker. I don't even think there is a baker in an expansion. But anyway, all these characters you're gonna play as. The humans have a deck, the zombies have a deck, and all of the cards are basically things that you would have happen in movies. So like. The zombies, all of their cards are really funny to me because they vary on that. It's like lights out, so like randomly the lights go out into the town, or if two characters are on the same space and they're getting attacked by a zombie and they could totally deal with that zombie, whatever, you can play unnecessary self-sacrifice where one of the characters has to be chosen to take a wound for the other character, even though they didn't have to, because you're just screaming at your TV like, why did he have to die? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Don't check under the bed.
And there's like these cards cause that to happen, and it's amazing. There's a soundtrack that you play the whole time as you go through the game, which always is a plus to me. I love this game. I know that McCoy, who is heavily a part of our channel, loves this game as well.
I have an interesting experience with this game.
What do you think of this?
I loved it.
Really?
And
okay.
I never want to play it again.
What?
And that's not a bad thing. I'm serious. That's not a bad thing. I'm not saying the game was bad.
My heart.
No, here's the thing. I had what I consider to be, and you'll see this gameplay eventually. I still have it. It'll be old school setup.
Are you about to say like it was like just the best experience you could have in this game?
I had what I can imagine to be the most optimal Last Night on Earth experience. Everything that should have happened happened. Everything that I wanted to see came out. It was perfect.
It was funny.
The prom queen girlfriend survived like 8 rounds punching zombies while her prom king boyfriend ran away and got saved.
And then she turned into a zombie.
And then she turned into a zombie, and he had to kill her at the end.
Yeah.
And it was literally one of the most perfect gaming experiences that I don't think will ever be replicated, and I genuinely am fearful that the game is not that good, and I will be soiled on it after playing it again.
There are at least
I know
7
you say that,
campaigns.
Doolin, but look it up on BGG. People don't think it's very good.
I don't care what other people think. We don't have to be reactionary.
I know. I just think that I had such a good experience with it.
It is so good
that I want to leave that. I want to leave that alone. Leave that in the back of my memory.
You
as the gameplay that I had
game.
with Last Night on Earth that was so good that I'm afraid that playing it again will just sour me on it.
We need to try it anyway. Let's do it
anyway. I want to.
I want to play it more. We need more playthroughs of it. It's so good. It's my number 10, Max. Anyway.
Speaking of number 10, I'm not gonna put this on the table.
You're making me so angry. I want to move it up higher.
Too big. This game is Crokinole.
Okay.
Number 10 favorite
Didn't
game
even cross
of all
my
time.
mind. I forget that it's a board game.
Yeah, because it's kind of not, right? I mean, It's kind of weird that we include crokinole in board games and not things like
skee ball,
ice hockey, and skee ball and foosball. I mean, I get that it's literally played on a board, and that's probably the only distinction of it, but it's totally different. It's more shuffleboardy. It's more foosball, whatever.
You're gonna fit in great at old people's homes.
I will. It'll be a good time. We're gonna have grand
until
old
the
time.
arthritis sets in.
I love crokinole. It's a blast every time. It's quick. You just plop it on the table. It is giant, I'll admit. I have a 77% board that my parents kind of own right now, and then a full-size board that is absolutely massive.
Back there, you
behemoth.
can't
I
see
mean,
it right now.
It's there. You can see the brief corner of it right over my body. It is huge, and it is amazing, and I never want to get rid of it. And I don't exactly know that it's deserving of my top 10. I have a real hard time ranking crokinole.
He's really good at it. If you want to play him at like a con or something, he'll probably beat you.
I'm better than them, but we're all pretty bad. Look, it's really good, but it is one that I went back and forth on. Should I rank it? If I rank it, where should it go? And I don't know. I stuck it right dab in the middle, and that's where I'm going to leave it. I love crokinole. I do.
So crokinole over Nemesis, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just messing with
ranking games is hard, bro.
I'm just messing with you.
Shut up. I'm already not confident about every pick I've read out of this list so far.
Anytime we do any list like this, Max wants to change at the moment.
Lists are hard, dude. They're so difficult.
I'm so confident in every list that I ever make until the next week, and then I'm like, I'd probably change that.
Gosh, that's my number 10. Like it or leave it. Whatever.
Number 9.
Is it the game number 9?
No.
No, okay.
What game
No,
is
we've never
that?
played it. There's just a game called Number 9 that would have been really coincidental.
I know
if it was
Nine
number
Tiles
9.
Panic, but
Yeah, there's that too.
Number 9 for me. This knocked its predecessor off my top 10 list.
Predecessor.
And now it takes the number 9 spot. And that is a game that we've played together with your brother called Mysterium Park.
Okay.
This game already was one of my favorite games ever. Mysterium is a great cooperative game where one player plays as this ghost who is using these cards to try to tell every player about the culprit, about places, about weapons, and all of these things you do through these cards that can be interpreted in a number of ways that is frustrating and so much fun. Being the ghost is one of the most infuriating things you can do. At the same time, by the end of the game, when you're able to talk, it is one of the funnest conversations you can have.
I had a really good experience this with you and my brother, and then a not so great experience with my family as a whole, where I was the ghost and I just could not relay the information I wanted to relay. I'm just not that creative or something, and even when I had what I thought was a good clue, they didn't get it.
Yeah.
But like the vast majority of it was my fault. I couldn't even find good clues, and I ended up selling it on to my brother. Actually, I just gave it to my brother.
Base game or Mysterium Park?
Park. That's the only one I've ever played.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to ask, is the reason this is higher than Mysterium base game because you've already played everything there is in the base game and it's over, or is it genuinely a better game?
I think that could be a whole other video in and of itself, but just a brief reason why I think this takes the place is, for one, it's harder. Mysterium I was playing, and Emily and I honestly kind of got bored with it because we understood each other so well that we just didn't, we never messed up. And part of the fun of the game is messing up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And
I could see it not being fun if you got it right every time.
Whereas Mysterium Park, there being more options, the cards are somehow way harder to use towards different things.
I found it very difficult.
And you will, there have been games where I've lost and I've had so much fun. And you get 6 rounds for only 2 things you have to find.
You gotta get the person in the place.
And it is way harder. It is so much harder, and that is more fun to me. And then 2, I think that the board organizes everything so much better than the base game does. Your setup time is decreased exponentially, especially considering you don't have to set up this DM screen with all of these different cards. It's literally just decided by a codenames like card that you set up, and I think that that's brilliant. I think that they did so much more with the game, even though they removed the weapon card entirely from the game. Like, you don't have to find a weapon anymore. I think that maybe even removing that decreased the time enough to where this game becomes even more replayable and more fun.
Okay.
Yeah,
I liked it. It's not my top 20, but I liked it. I want to play it some more.
I'm hoping that they do some expansions, but we'll see.
I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Will you grab me that game with the bear on the front? This is my number 9 favorite game of all time, and that is Monikers. Small blue box, bottom left, right there. This is a party game.
I was looking for Baron Park.
No. I don't even have that game. There's a little bear on it. This is Monikers, a dumb party game that respects your intelligence.
That somehow is his number 9, but he called it dumb.
It's so good.
I love this game.
My favorite party game, bar none. Easily my favorite. It's one of those that you will have experiences in your first time playing it, that when you come back to it the 8th time, you're going to take something from that first time and be able to use it in the 8th time. Like, just an inside joke that you used the first time you played Monikers, that now somehow this means Albert Einstein, because it doesn't make any sense at all. But the first time you played it, that happened to work out, and then from then on out, everyone knows that this is now Albert Einstein, and it's just the inside jokes that you can make with it. It's so fun. It respects your intelligence, I think, like it says, because it's one of those that if you are really good at memorizing things or really good at history and facts in general, you will do better than people that are good at charades. But it combines those. Yeah. The memory, the charades, the ability to be succinct in your clue giving, and then the ability to just be smart and know some of these things. But if you're not smart, by the 3rd round, you've seen these cards 3 times, or 2 times at that point in time, that you can get it, because Danielle is way better at Monikers than me. She's genuinely good at this game because she just remembers. Like, she just knows it. Not only is she smarter than me, but she also has a better memory than me. So by round 3, she's just like, oh, this is that, this is that, this is that. But I may be a little better at charades than her. And I think this game
I want to play this with you guys.
Oh, we talked about needing to play this game with you and Emily.
Can you play with only 4 players? Or is it? Okay.
You can. I think it's probably best with 6, because that means when one person's giving the clue, you're not on the spot, like one person needing to guess everything. Yeah. It's nice to have a partner there trying to guess with you. But certainly something that can be played at 4 and above. Easily my favorite party game. If you haven't tried it already, give it a go. I also have the Shut Up and Sit Down expansion box. I haven't actually had a chance to play it yet, but they fully endorse Monikers as one of their favorite party games.
I know Board Game Co does as well. Like, he loves that game.
So good.
Alex.
So good.
Is his name.
Nope. I don't think so.
Anyway, number 8. Love this game, and you've never played it before.
I mean, I would hope you love all of these. It's your freaking number 8 game of all time.
I'm going to say that every time.
I've never played it before.
Oh, cool.
Never played it before.
And I own it.
Zombicide. No, Zombicide, you're never like 2 or 1 or something.
I don't know.
What is
Maybe
it?
Maybe it is Zombicide.
What is it?
It is... Never mind.
I was going to say, it's not.
It is Small World.
Wow. Number 8?
This game is amazing, Max.
Small World is your number 8?
This game is amazing, Max.
Wait a minute. Isn't... Okay. Don't yell at me in the comments. I've never played Small World. From what I know about Small World, isn't it like baby Blood Rage? And you hate Blood Rage?
No.
Is it anything at all like that?
I don't think so.
I've never played.
To be fair, I played Blood Rage once in a loud Gen Con
with
arena
with
an app. And so I didn't enjoy my time with it at all. Small World, incredible.
What is it?
There's basically an island that
Blood
everybody
Rage?
is trying to take the
Area
most...
control?
Shut up.
Blood Rage?
Stop it.
Special abilities and powers?
Yes.
Blood Rage? This is just baby Blood Rage.
No, okay, so here's the thing that I like about this game, though. You draft your characters...
Blood Rage!
What? with separate player powers for each of them.
Blood Rage!
And as you take over the map, you realize that you can't go any further, so you go into a thing called Decline, where you flip your player thing over.
Like Valhalla, possibly, in Blood Rage?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
All right, calm yourself, all right? You flip your player over, they lose their special power, Then that turn you only score what you've collected and you don't go any further. You can't move any further after that turn. And then you draft a new character and a new race with a new power.
That definitely sounds a little different.
And you pull it in and you do this over 10 rounds. And I go into decline as fast as I can. I take over as much as I can, and then I go into decline. I pull on a new thing because every single character that is in decline still is on the board. And as long as you can't really move them anymore, but as long as they still control those spots, you get points for them at the end of your next round. You control the decline race and your active race. And so players are in a race to take over as much as they can, then just stop, because now it's every other player's job to erase what you've taken over, and then you're going to come in a new spot. Like, it's a constant, fun area control game.
It sounds a little different now, but
I've gotten
I still think it
couple of
sounds like Baby Blood Rage.
expansions. The artwork is fantastic. It's like this cutesy little, about a game where
Blood Rage for
races
kids
are getting... No, it is not. Look it up, Max. People love this game. It's incredible.
People love Blood Rage.
I know, but Small
Look,
World...
I've never played Small World. I could be way off base with my
Please
Baby
defend me
Blood
in the
Rage.
comments. Small World is worth the look. It is incredible.
I'm just shocked this is your number 8.
It is so
Wow.
good. I've played this game a lot, and it's one of those things where in the last year, I don't think I've touched it, but it's on my shelf, and I know that I love this game.
So I've also never played Small World, but World of Warcraft Small World, Small World of Warcraft. I've actually never played World of Warcraft
I think
either.
it's the same game,
But
and you can actually combine
Right,
it.
I think it is. I just like IP-based stuff. Like, I almost bought Small World of Warcraft, having never played Small World or World of Warcraft. I don't know. Regardless, my
You're
number...
gonna need to try it.
Okay, this is another one that you're going to need to try, and I don't know how you haven't played this game yet either. This is another one that I wonder if it would still be in my top 10 if I'd played it more recently, because it's been a while since I've played it, and it may fall out, but I've loved it, and I do own it. I own an expansion that I've never played. It's just Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Okay, yeah, I've never touched
This
it.
game is so good. It's a push your luck bag building game in which
I
you're...
love bag building. Okay.
It's so good. You're drafting with your available points the potions and ingredients that you can add into your bag, and then you're stirring your pot and putting your ingredients out. And if a certain ingredient comes out a certain number of times, you bust. And then you choose: do you get victory points or buying power? You only get one of the two.
Okay.
If you stop before you bust, you get both victory points and buying power.
Okay.
So it's a kind of a catch-22 of do you try and push your luck as far as you can, or do you try and stop earlier to secure both of them? There's a nice little catch-up mechanic that I think works fairly well for catch-up mechanics. CATCH, not KETCH. And genuinely, I love Quacks. It's one of those that I had to buy the coin capsules. They have the Board Game Geek upgrade bits.
Cool.
But I bought coin capsules to put the little cardboard in, so when you're reaching into your bag, it's like the plastic that's clanking together the whole time. You have to play Quacks. I think Emily would like it too. Danielle really enjoys Quacks.
The only reason we haven't played it is because of you. So.
What do you mean?
I've never once been like, Max, I don't want to play Quacks. You've never once been like, hey, we should play Quacks. So.
I've definitely said that before. Anyways, we're going to play Quacks. What's up? Are you all coming back this week? We'll play Quacks later this week and something else. I don't know.
Number 7.
Uh-huh.
This is going to be a big surprise for you, but I do love it this much. I've played this is going to give it away, the digital version and the physical version as well. Played it with Jesse.
It's going to be Root, right?
Yeah. I really like Root.
That's not surprising.
Root
I figured it would be up here for
is
you.
incredible. I know I did win once. I've won once out of 7 playthroughs, and that's okay.
And a couple of those playthroughs, we don't really know what we're doing. It's one of those games.
It's really fun, though. And I think I'm surprised how much I even just like the base game with only the 4 races.
But the expansions make it way better.
Oh, the expansions, Duchy life.
The Duchy and Corvid for me, baby.
So good. I want a shirt with the Duchy on it. I think
we can arrange that.
Anyway, that's my favorite race that I've played so far. Now, granted, there are a lot of races I've never even seen, and I think that's incredible. The artwork is amazing. I love
Kyle
every
Theron's
single.
great.
Yeah, I love all of their games. I love. Fort as well.
Fort
it didn't make my top 20, but
I'm actually surprised it didn't make your top 20.
I need to play it more.
Yeah,
I need to play it more.
Me too.
I think it would make my top 20 if I had played it more. But
anyways,
I played
Root,
enough, and it's number 7. Yeah, it's number 7.
I really like Root. You will hear more about it here in a little bit
Good.
on my top
I'm
10
glad
list.
we have a similar
Yeah.
top 10 game.
And this is interesting because it's one that I bought and sold,
I want to buy it.
and I have been actively looking to get it back again.
I want to own all of my top 10.
Yeah, it was one of those that it's hard to table. It's a difficult game. It's complex. Every faction is so wildly different, and it's each faction is quite complex. It's not the fact that they're different that makes them complex. It's the fact that they're different and they're complex in and of themselves. And so the game is not one that you can just easily table left and right. You need the right group that really wants to come back and try it again and again with the same factions to get the strategy, then different factions. And I did not have that at the time.
I think that this game, and asymmetric games are like this in general, but Root does a good job where if you're a person who's played this game a lot and you're playing it with new people, like, it's very easy for you to just be like, well, I'm just going to play a new character.
Oh, yeah.
And be able to be on their level.
Be on the same playing field, or a similar playing field.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a lot of games that do that well, and Root does.
This is one that I've wanted to get back in my collection more. We're not going to talk about it at all when it comes around to me because we're talking about it all right now. This is one that I want to get back in my collection even more now because it doesn't play particularly great at 2.
Okay.
But they recently have done Clockwork, which helps, but Clockwork is the AI, essentially.
Yeah,
I don't
it's like
love
the co-op
that.
version or whatever?
Yeah, there's a co-op version too, but more interesting to me is their most recent Kickstarter, which is already off Kickstarter at this point in time, but will hit retail, adds in a lot to improve the 2-player and lower player count game.
Cool.
I think Root excels at 3 and 4 so far for me. I love the 3-player game, but 2 suffers tremendously. And this Kickstarter is supposed to make the 2-player game a lot better. And it means that I'll be able to play it more often. Me and you can play Root regularly if we own it.
That'd be great. Is it capped at 4? Or can you play 5?
I think it's technically capped at 4.
I think
it's. I mean, you could probably do it, but I think it's capped at 4
really,
according to the rules. I could be wrong.
We'll try.
Number 7 for me is Cosmic Encounter.
Ooh,
yeah,
cool.
We have talked a lot about Cosmic Encounter already. I don't see. Oh, it's over there. I'm not going to worry about grabbing it right now. It'll across the screen. Cosmic Encounter is an awesome game that would maybe even be higher on my. It could be higher or lower. Everything can change. But it's been a while since I've played it. But I strictly recall the second to last time I played it was with you, McCoy, and Warren, and had top 10 gaming experience of my entire life. It was so much fun. It's the perfect group. And that's the problem with Cosmic Encounter and something like Root even, is that it's very group dependent. And for me, Cosmic Encounter hits with that group. And it falls flat with others.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it may be number 2 on my list or something. I don't know. But it's one of those it's such an incredible experience if the group is open to it, and jumps on it. And we did at that time. It's so good. I own nearly every expansion for it.
I've only played with you, and I can say that I've enjoyed it literally every single time we played. It's been a great,
it's so good,
fun game.
I got to get it back to table again because it's been, pandemic, it's been a year plus.
Yeah.
But even before that, it's been 6 months or a year before I'd played it last. So got to get it back to table again, but that is my number 7.
All right. Number 6 for me. I like that choice a lot. Number 6 for me might surprise you a little bit. I don't think it will, though, because I've hyped this game up a lot. I bought it off of you recently, and that is Super Fantasy Brawl.
Oh, that is surprising. I mean,
love this game.
At one hand, I'm not surprised, but on one hand, I didn't even expect it to be in your top 20.
Really? Okay.
I just
played
didn't
it with
think
you.
about it, I think.
I played it with you, and I've also played it with my family. Oh my gosh. I feel like out of everyone I've played it with, I'm the one who likes it the most.
Yeah.
I definitely I
bought
have
it off games
of
like
you.
that too.
Bought it off of you with the intention of getting season 2, and I've already purchased season 2, pre-ordered it, or whatever.
You'll definitely see that game on the channel soon too.
Oh my gosh! And I want to paint all of them. The miniatures are some of the best miniatures I've ever seen. But on top of that, it is such a fun skirmish game.
It is.
I love the fact that and I like games where your goal is to kill the other team. But in this game, I love the objective-based game.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of, and in no way, shape, or form is this anything like a first-person shooter, but I played a lot of Halo growing up, and one of Halo's biggest things is if you don't just play Slayer, you play like King of the Hill, you play Capture the Flag, and that feeling I get playing Super Fantasy Brawl and trying to hold the hill,
the tower,
and not die,
right?
And and knock the other team out of the objective.
Get a player in each starting zone.
Fun.
Yeah,
and gosh, I could go on and on about this game, but
we need to play it more. It may run up my list as well. I've played it once with Jesse, and once with Sean, and once with you, and I really like it. And I think that the more you get into it, the higher it's probably going to jump to.
And it's so good. Oh my gosh.
I don't have to talk about this next one because my number 6 is Root. So we've already talked on it a lot.
It's my number 7, and you're number 6.
Really close. Really close.
We really like Root.
Yeah, Root's great, but we don't need to talk about it anymore. So you're number 5.
My number 5. All right, let's see if it's one. Oh, I guarantee you that this is on your list, but a little bit higher. So we'll talk about it now.
Wait, hold on. It's on my list. Oh wait, I know what it is.
It is Spirit Island. Was it what you thought it was?
No.
What? Now I'm.
No, I was thinking you might have Gloomhaven.
Nope.
Jaws the Lion on there.
I've not played enough of it.
Yeah,
I've
agree.
not played enough of
agree.
it. I think I've only played the prologue and like episode 1.
Yep, we played 5 episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is just a tutorial. I think.
Yeah, I love it though. I mean, it's nice.
so good.
But
this is about Spirit Island.
Spirit Island is another game that I don't own. You own it.
I do.
And it was actually one of my first games, if not my first game I ever played with you at your house.
Yeah.
And we've played it quite a few times. Our early stages of becoming friends.
It's been a while since we played it though.
There might be like some like nostalgia, like we're becoming friends. Max.
We might play it
like,
again and decide we hate each other.
Yeah, maybe.
Like Freaky Friday, just swaps. I don't know.
It'll be the last game we play together too. No,
it'd be a good one to end on.
This is a great asymmetric co-op game that if you are a fan of, and you are gonna hate me for saying this, but if you're a fan of like other like light co-op games like Pandemic or Forbidden Island, you're ready for a heavy game, Spirit Island is for you.
No, absolutely. Spirit Island should be tried by everyone.
Yes.
It's so good.
And you are going to have to sit down and really learn your character for a while before you play. In fact, I would recommend, if you're hosting this game night, trying to get those decided beforehand, because when we started playing this, I was like, Max,
what the heck am I doing?
I'm spending like 30 minutes figuring out how to play one character.
I will say, I think this game is easier to jump in. Not necessarily easy to learn your character, but easier to jump into than something like Root, which is asymmetric. But Root, you almost need to know your character before you start. The fact that you're growing in power and growing in amount of cards you can play and growing in abilities and drafting new cards, or drawing new cards, I should say, I think that you can jump into Spirit Island with a pretty minimal understanding of your character, and then over the course of the game, you probably will lose, but you'll probably have a better grasp of the end, whereas Root, you almost have to know before you start, or you're just kind of wasting everything.
I think what you're touching on there is partially why I enjoy cooperative games more than competitive, and I know that my wife isn't like that. I don't think you're like that either, but the reason I would see that is true is that you would jump in with a player who knows how to play, and you can ask them questions.
Absolutely.
Whereas in Root, they're
competing against you.
They're not going to help you too much. Whereas in Spirit Island, like, I don't know, it is, every power is so very, very different, and the way you play each of them is so different. And the artwork is incredible. The theme is really, really nice.
I love the theme.
It is so fun. Please try Spirit Island. I didn't even really go into much about what the game is, but
that's okay.
It's a fun cooperative asymmetric
Might
game.
have another chance to do that.
I figured.
Number 5 is...
Wait, what? Did I go to... Oh, no, that is number 5.
My number 5 is Cosmic Frog.
Okay.
Which is a polarizing game at this table.
It is not.
Doolin is not big fan of.
It's good.
It's good.
I have a good time with it.
Yeah, it's so good. If you ask me my top favorite games of 2020, which we meant to do a video on like multiple times and just never did, probably number 1. This is probably my favorite game of 2020. The art direction, actually we have a video going up soon on Quackalope's channel where we talk all about Cosmic Frog. But the art, the theme, the way that it merges this Ameritrash and Euro game all at the same time, the player powers and abilities, the dice rolling, the fact that you have to plan far ahead or you're going to get screwed. If I jump out of the Aether and don't disgorge, someone's probably going to punch me, steal my gullet, and kick me in the outer dimensions, and then steal my vault. Like, you have to plan.
Yeah.
The one thing that's so polarizing is just the action deck. The way this game is played is it's not I go, then you go, then I go, then you go.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, whatever player count you have, you take X amount of cards. We'll just randomly say 4, shuffle them into a deck. So say we have 4 people playing, that's 16 cards, and then you draw them out. And in whatever order you draw them out, the order is played, and it's theoretically possible to go me 4 times, and then me done for the next 12, and you all have turns in the next 12.
Yeah,
and me never go again.
Forget about that. It could be 24 turns because you could be the last 4 of the next round.
Yeah.
Because you shuffle them and you redraw them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that's a hyperbole and it's not likely to happen, but
it happened to me.
It is no, it did not. It happened. It kind of happened. Well, I will say this is a game that I've enjoyed at all player counts, but definitely enjoyed it more at
McQueen
3.
loves it too.
Yeah, McQueen enjoyed it too. I think at 6 it gets a little too long between turns, especially because you don't know when your next turn is. Something like, if you know that you just have to wait for other people to go and come back to you, that's one thing. If you don't even know when your next turn is, it makes it even more difficult. I think 3 with 2 frogs each is probably the way to go. And, of course, we've had the pleasure of playing with Jim Felly and kind of learning a bit about what he intends to bring to the game that I do think improves it. And I think you thought so, too.
I thought that, and it did help that I won that time we played.
Yeah.
So I always like games that I win. But, no, I think the added mechanic of instead of dice rolls, you do it this fancy way that he'll probably release eventually is
I
neat.
kind of spoke about it already on accident, but on another
Quacklet
thing.
podcast.
Yeah. Regardless, Cosmic Frog is awesome. I can't get enough of the absurd theme with the Euro mechanics and the Ameritrash just combined into a beautiful game to me that I don't know why it ticks all these boxes for me, but it just does. And it's obviously up to one of my 5 favorite games of all time.
Number 5. All right, number 4.
The Fantastic Four.
I should have these memorized now. Okay,
I don't have mine memorized either.
Looking at these
Wait,
top 4,
yes,
I
do.
this.
I have my top 4 memorized.
All right.
Yeah.
This one is one we've already talked about. We don't have to talk about it much anymore. It is Cosmic Encounter.
Okay.
I love this
I wasn't
game.
sure if it would be on. I'm glad it is.
Yes,
I'm glad it is.
It is 100%. Like you said, it was one of the best experiences I've had playing a game. And honestly, if I'm thinking about what I like most in games, the reason these top 5 are where they are because of the experience I had.
Absolutely.
Like, forget about mechanics, forget about all of that. Like, that can get
go that
you.
far, but
no,
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, listen, you might agree with this part.
I'm sure I will.
Mechanics, theme, like all of those things can get you really high up on my list. But if I have an incredible experience with your game, there is a good chance that it will be really, really high 100%. On my list. And all of these are that way. And this is why this is so subjective because I can't say that you're going to have the exact same encounter, cosmic encounter as we did, but if you have the right group, this game can be one of the best games you'll ever play.
Yeah, I mean, if you asked me after playing it with you, Josh, and Warren, I would say this is my favorite game of all time. And then I played it again, and I played it with a few other friends that we all had a good time, but if you ask me that, I'd say it's a really good game. I don't love it. Like, it wasn't amazing.
Yeah.
It really is that experience carries so much weight in my rankings and including yours, apparently, of how much we love these games. The experience that we have around the table is the biggest factor for us.
And not to take away from it, like, if you've seen anything about this game, you'll immediately recognize, wow, there's been a lot of love poured into it. But I just think...
also old.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
One of the oldest board games.
Yeah, and the amount of...
I don't mean that in the sense of, like, going back to Go and
one
chess.
of our oldest board games in our top 20.
Right.
That's not true.
Oh, no. Continue.
We'll leave it at that. I don't have anything else to say, really, about it.
Okay.
We've already talked about it.
Yeah,
It's
we
good.
have.
It's good.
It's great. Well, I don't know why I need to look, because I've already memorized
Number
it.
4.
So, whatever. I'm tossing. I hope I memorized them.
It's Calico.
It's not. But we've already talked about this one, too. It is Spirit Island. So we don't need to talk about it anymore, but Spirit Island is just incredible. Incredible.
Yeah. Really great co-op.
We need to play it again.
The fact that you aren't as big into co-op games as I am, and it's higher on your list is telling.
Well, so...
Is your top 4 all co-op?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. That's what
Are
I was
you
gonna
sure
say.
you're not really into co-op games?
No, I 100% am. I'm not into Pandemic. That's all. I mean, that's the thing.
You can just say that. You don't have to say that you like
That's the thing.
competitive games more than...
I love co-op games. My top 4 are all cooperative. Pandemic is just too much too much quarterbacking, and none of these have that issue for me. And I can explain why in reason. In Spirit Island, you're playing basically real time. You're drawing your cards from your hand and playing them at the same time as someone else is drawing the cards from their hand. There's too much going on and too much to plan for you to say. I mean, you can table talk and you can say like, Doolin, can you do this? And yes I can, or no you can't. But it'll never go into that Pandemic, which is open information game, where I'm like, I'm gonna go here, and I see that you have this ability, you need to go there, and me telling you what to do.
Yeah.
I can ask you what to do in these games, but I can't tell you what to do.
At max, top thing that you're probably gonna do is mention things on the board that might kill you guys.
Yeah.
And so it's like you have no idea how.
I mean,
the
you could
river
totally
is going
be
to
like,
deal with that, but you're like, hey,
we need to deal with this area. Can anyone deal with that area?
Yeah.
But I'm not telling you how
because
to
I don't know how to do it.
Right. I don't know what. Yeah. I love Spirit Island
game.
and apparently love co-op games.
All right. Which is funny because I feel like I really am. I claim that cooperative are my favorite. Only 5 of my top 10 are cooperative.
I already threw mine, so I don't remember. I think only 5 of mine are too.
Number 3 is probably the one that people will call me out on the most.
I think Last Night on Earth might take that cake.
Really? Here's the thing.
Dude, in our draft video, a couple people were like, oh, Doolin had me until Last Night on Earth.
I don't give a crap. Go at me. Let's talk in the comments. Last Night on Earth is a brilliant game, and I will defend it to my death.
Okay, so what's next?
All right, number 3 is a game that's not even out yet. The Kickstarter isn't even out yet.
Well, I'll talk about this one in
and it'll be...
Yeah.
Wait, it's going to be in your top 3?
No, but
okay.
Maybe. Go ahead.
Okay, so here's the thing. It might not even exist anymore because they might change it.
Genuinely.
And that hurts me to my core.
But I think they're going to change it for the better.
I hope
excited.
So.
I'm so
I don't know how much
forward
better it could get because I love this game so much and the experiences I've had with it.
I trust Skybound.
Okay.
I do.
That gave it away. It is.
Yeah, I was trying to.
Bloodstone.
It is.
I'm sorry, guys. I know that none of you have experienced this really. Maybe some of you have. But this game is such a good game.
Yeah.
It's a great skirmish game that will get you so excited about what is happening on the board. The theme is incredible. The minis are the best minis I've ever seen.
So good.
And it's just...
They haven't even been washed yet.
I can't even
Look.
like... This is what happened in the game. We played it
and freaked out.
If you watch the gameplay, go back and watch Max articulate what he likes about the game, and then watch me just
You're
do
just
this.
like,
and I do this multiple times where I'm like, it's like, and I can't articulate it enough, and it's because this game is so good.
Yeah.
It is. I'm getting that way again.
I know, I am too. The more we talk about it, the more I want to play it. So
I want to play it right now.
I have to say, this is in my top 10. I mean, it's not on paper. Mm-hmm. It 100% is. Mm-hmm. I excluded it solely for the fact that we've only played it well, actually, I have played it more than you. I played it another time. But we've only played it a couple of times, and it's not even on Kickstarter because they're kind of going back to the drawing board. What happened with this game, Bloodstone, is it released, it funded, but not only, it's not that James Hudson and Skybound had a secret number in mind. Mm-hmm. They put out the number they needed to make it happen. Mm-hmm. But as a company that cares, they'd received a ton of feedback, and they're aware of the position they're in. Mm-hmm. Yes, they funded, but we haven't made anything yet. Mm-hmm. If we're going to make changes and going to make this game the best we can, we have to be right by our customers and do right by our customers and cancel, even though we funded by over twice our goal, because we know we can improve on this game. Yeah. And that's why I really do trust them. I've played several of their games and enjoyed most of them. I don't think they're the most amazing games in the world, but Bloodstone especially is the one I've had the most fun with. And
so good.
Would be, honestly, probably in my top 5 as well,
It's
other than the
so
fact that I just purposefully
good.
excluded it because of that reasoning. Yeah.
I want more than anything for this game to at least be similar to what it was.
No,
because
it's not going to change that drastically.
Okay, because
it won't.
What I want is for that experience that it says that you can have of 8 people being on the map together and just battling it out until the last one standing.
The co-op was great.
The co-op is incredible. Oh my gosh.
This is a Bloodstone video.
Oh my goodness. Like, it legitimately made me feel like I was back in the old, like, elementary school Josh, playing GameCube games where I'm battling bosses, because that was essentially what Crash Bandicoot, Sonic Adventure 2 games were about. You played the level, but it was all about facing the boss at the end, and you just got that feeling the whole game. Like, you're facing a amazing boss that changes the whole game. Every single time you change what the boss is, I want it now.
I do too. It's so good. Like I said, it's only not in my top 10 because of an asterisk. I mean, I just removed it for that reason alone. It deserves to be talked about, though, and I genuinely cannot wait for it to come back to Kickstarter and see the changes that they made. I do think that you're going to be pleased. I don't know anything. I don't talk to James on a regular basis, but I don't think it's going to change the formula. It's just going to improve upon a few things.
It will be a 100% all-in immediate back, regardless of price for me.
Yeah, that was a game. We don't typically do this. We both backed that game. We both backed Bloodstone at like the highest level.
I've never done that.
Because we both wanted a copy.
Yes.
And in every other game we've backed since we've started Tablenauts, we've never both backed the same game. If that doesn't speak volumes about how excited we were about Bloodstone and how much we enjoyed it, I don't know what will.
Yeah.
I mean, we should probably move on at this point in time, but it is an incredible,
You just want to end it here
game.
and talk about it Bloodstone?
No. I got to talk about Kingdom Death Monster now,
That's
which
your
is my
number
number 3 favorite game
Oh my gosh,
of all
that surprises
time.
me.
Really? Why?
Because we never played this game.
And we should. And I've asked to many times. Kingdom Death Monster is so good. It's not Bloodstone. It's much more complicated and heavy than that. And it's not the same. It's a lot of settlement building, not just the boss fighting. But, like, knowing what you like in board games, knowing that you liked Gloomhaven and that you liked Bloodstone and that you liked Super Fantasy Brawl, not that they're the same at all. I'm not comparing them. But, like, I genuinely think you would really enjoy Kingdom Death Monster.
I played the first level with you.
Yeah, we did.
And I enjoyed it. I loved it.
And that's just a taste of what the game is. You know, once you get into the settlement building and the progression of your characters leveling up and you having that weight of, do I pull them into this battle because I need them for how strong they are, or am I probably going to lose this battle anyways and I don't want my best character to die? Because that's a decision you have to make. I mean, if you think a fight is unwinnable, you may want to take your weak guys in and just die and come back another day, because you don't want to take
That's giving me some XCOM vibes.
I mean, I've never played XCOM.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But Kingdom Death Monster is incredible. As someone who loves miniatures, that is just over the top for you. I don't see how you couldn't fall in love with the Kingdom Death Monster. Both gameplay and miniature-wise, it's right there. Gorgeous. The Kingdom Death Monster and Gloomhaven to a lesser extent, but Kingdom Death Monster is the reason I want a board game table. I would literally leave Kingdom Death Monster up 24/7 under the table topper. And then, you want to play Kingdom Death Monster? Let's pull it out. It's a difficult game to pull out. There's a lot of note taking. I use an app for half of it because it makes it a lot easier and streamlines it and keeps your progress better. It's just one of those that, I mean, Eric and I played regularly for a while and it just kind of fell off, but man,
I'm willing to try it.
It's so good.
I want to do it.
I love Kingdom Death Monster. We'll play it. We will play it eventually. We will play it. Number 2.
We only have 4 games left. All right.
What are mine? I forgot. Oh, I remember. Oh, no. It's Zombicide, right?
No.
Zombicide's number 1.
No.
Yes, it is. I'm spoiling it.
No. It's not my number 1. Why would it be my number 1? Number 2 is a game that you've not played, that I've not played in...
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say I've not played it either.
I've not played in at least 3 years.
HeroScape. Yeah, I have played HeroScape.
Oh, you have?
Me and my brother used to play HeroScape when we were like 12. I don't know. I mean, this is an old game.
Talking about fond memories. Making a game skyrocket to the top. This game created my love for board games, if I'm being completely honest. It created my love for miniatures. It created my love for any idea of like D&D. Like before D&D was like all of that kind of thing. I had friends who owned a lot of the expansions.
Okay.
I started to collect them, and then we would like make
Do you
sure
still
that we
own
didn't.
this?
I still own all of it.
Wow, yeah, because it's an expensive game to get a hold of.
And I will not sell it.
Yeah, we should play it.
I have a giant tote. And
this is kind of like a cross between like a war game and a board game,
yeah,
right? Like the way it functions with range and terrain and all that
kind
stuff.
Kind of. I will say that it does feel very board gamey. I know that it got that reputation, but
it's
in reality,
been a long time since I've played.
Yeah.
I know I loved it, but I cannot tell you how it plays.
And as a high schooler, like brand new high schooler who was finding like friends who enjoyed the same things, when I found this, I was just like, I was still into Legos, but I wasn't as into Legos as I was when I was in middle school and elementary school. And this game where you get to build your map, and all of the map terrain pieces mean different things for being higher, get you more attack or defense. Being in water slows you down, or if you're flying, you can fly over it. And trees block, like all of those different things are really, really neat that they can add to the game. But half of the fun for me was building the map. And that is, like, I've never found another game that's like that.
I agree.
And there's some, you could argue it's too long. And the way me and my friends played, we typically would try to play with as many characters as we could.
Yeah.
That's not the way you're supposed to play. You're supposed to have a
point system or whatever.
Very low point system. We would give ourselves a very high point system. But I have very fond memories of going to a friend's house and playing one game over the course of 2 days.
Yeah.
And just loving it.
See,
and
this is bringing back memories for me, too, because I did play this with my brother growing up. And like I said, it was 15 years ago, something like that.
Did you ever play the Marvel expansion?
No.
But
we're also just not big Marvel people for the most part. Or there's Star Wars one, too, right?
No.
Okay, just Marvel is what I'm thinking of. But I don't really remember the game. And I think that's what you were kind of touching on, too. I remember it. Like, it gives me that Warhammer mixed with board games vibe, and I've never played Warhammer, and it's been a decade since I've played that, so I can't say for certain, but I do remember building the terrain and drafting, I think, the characters against my brother, and incredible
dice
memories.
Chucking,
Incredible memories on that game, and we probably sold it at a yard sale for like $5 one day. I don't know where it went or what happened to it. And I'm sad
to break
that
it out.
gone,
It's going to be one that, I doubt it'll get a whole bunch of views because it's like, where are you going to buy it? eBay is like the only place.
Yeah.
But it is an extremely fun game that I played at least 3 years ago, and it still held up over the course of like 8 or 9 years. And there's a reason why there's a whole like section of Gen Con and areas like that
Just
blocked
for
off
it.
for the Hero Scapers,
Right.
because it is a very beloved game by a lot of people. So that's number 2.
We're almost done. And the bad thing is, we both know each other's number ones. Number 2 is Gloomhaven.
Okay, yeah.
This game
Deserves
is so good. This game is everything I wanted a board game to be when I was getting into the hobby. As someone who's big into video games, Gloomhaven gave me you can unlock characters, you complete quests to gain perks, you level up and get new abilities and cards. It gave me everything that I wanted as someone who was coming from video games to board games. And Gloomhaven was, for me, one of my first 5 board games I got. I dove in hard. I remember playing Catan and Munchkin, and we were on our way to the lake, and I think Eric was there with me, and I called the local game store. I was like, you have a copy of Gloomhaven? And they were like, yeah, it's $125. Like, I'll be right there. Like, I didn't know anything about this game. I just from research I did, but in general, it was so new to me, the hobby as a whole. But Gloomhaven did everything that I wanted, and I was really afraid that the hype was going to be too real, that I was so excited for this. I remember getting to the lake and opening it up, and geez, if you buy Gloomhaven, do not open it up unless you're at home, like, ready to organize it, because it was a nightmare. There are cardboard everywhere, boxes everywhere. I opened up every single hidden character box and put them in a storage container that I had, because I didn't realize they were supposed to be hidden at the time. I opened up every character, saw every mini in the game, and just put them in there, and then I was like reading. I was like, oh, let me read a little bit about this. You unlock these... Oh, wait a minute. I put them all back in their cardboard boxes. and just have an absolute blast. The treasure hunting, the questing, the upgrading, the perks, the retiring and unlocking entirely new characters. There's 17 total characters in Gloomhaven. I cannot wait for Frosthaven. We've never beaten it. We're probably 75% of the way through Gloomhaven. Just one of those that we just stopped one day and haven't started back up. The way the cards work, the card play system is better in Gloomhaven than any other board game I've ever really played. I think that the way that card play works is just magical.
Yeah.
I love that game so much. Now I want to go play Gloomhaven, like right now.
We'll have to break that.
Yeah, we need to. We need to, absolutely. Okay, number one game of all time. We might want to talk about these together.
Sure.
You think so?
We're going to do that video idea that we had right now?
No, we're going to save it for another day because I'm
Okay.
not going to, well, I've not played yours yet.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
not
can't,
fair. Yeah.
I can't talk about
That's
it.
fair.
But as far as I'm aware, these games are most compared to each other. If
Made
you
by the
ever
same
compare
company.
them. Both made by Simon. Yours is Zombicide,
Zombicide,
everything,
specifically
Black
Black
Plague.
Plague.
Right, and mine
Um,
is Cthulhu,
yeah.
Death May Die.
And
You know, they did not like that game, apparently. They really, apparently they're on your side.
scared me so
Me
bad.
too, dude.
Anyway, yeah, Zombicide Black Plague is literally just it's not a dungeon crawler. It kind of is.
Right, and same with
Um,
Zombicide, or Cthulhu.
It's essentially, I mean, you and your party that is as simple as can be a D&D party. You have wizards, rangers, you have your typical like sword wielders and spellcasters, and a mixture of all of those, rogues and all of those different things. You can choose whichever one you want, and I have an abundance of characters where every time I play this, every single person that I play this with says the same thing, which is like, wow, I really like, I get to pick my one character that I want. And honestly, the best way to play it, and Alex said this too, is to get 2 characters. So don't play with like more than 4, I would say. The best player counts are 3 or 4 people, maybe even less. 2 is great, 1 is even great. But essentially, you go into this area, and I played a lot of Left 4 Dead, if you ever played that video game growing up, and it's essentially that. Like, you have special types of zombies, and you have mostly just fodder, huge amounts of regular zombies that are chasing you around the map as you try to get your objective done and then get to the escape room, just like Left 4 Dead. And I think that adds to it a lot, but at the same time, in its own way, is just a very fun, unique experience where you are killing monsters, you're looting buildings and getting better weapons, you're upgrading your character the more you kill things, and the more you kill things, these cards that spawn zombies cause higher levels of monsters to spawn. So like in Cthulhu, the more you kill, the better you get, but closer to death you get. The opposite is how Zombicide works, where the bigger you get, it literally just, the more you level up, the higher level of things come out. And so you get close to death, but at the same time, you feel invincible by the end of the game. Whereas at the beginning, you kind of feel very vulnerable, and you have to be very careful.
Squishy.
And I like that a lot. And I'm kind of leaning, like, if I'm saying, obviously I'm ranking it higher than Cthulhu Death May Die. If I'm trying to draw, like, a difference in there, I think what we just touched on is it, where the longer Cthulhu Death May Die goes, the more I realize I'm probably going to die. Whereas the longer Zombicide goes, the more I feel like I'm just going to lay waste to everything. And there are very few times where I've lost this game, and take that as a plus or minus. But I think this is a great game to bust out with people who you just want to have an epic questing time with. I'm starting to lose my voice. I'm getting a little quieter.
It's been a while.
But it legitimately is just a game that every experience I've had with it has been the same feeling I get playing a really epic fight in D&D. And we all leave remembering these incredible moments that somebody pulled off a die roll that destroyed 5 zombies, a abomination, and maybe even made the dragon fly away, and that's incredible. I can't think of a better game to give you more thematic experiences.
I can't touch on it. I've never played it. We'll go into specifics in a video featuring this topic alone in the future once I've had time to digest and play Zombicide to compare the two. I do think just based off of that description, I can understand the differences that you've mentioned, and me, I think that definitely still heavily leaning towards Cthulhu Death May Die. Not only am I just a little more attracted to that cosmic horror, I love the fear of the unknown. I love the deep water and the outer space and just stuff that you don't know. That theme is a little more appealing to me than zombies, but also I like my co-op games to be hard personally.
Yeah.
I like, if I'm playing a co-op game, and it's kind of weird, and something like Gloomhaven, I want to win more often than lose, obviously, because there's a sense of progression, I should say. But in something like Spirit Island and a Cthulhu Death May Die, I want my win rate to be 50% or less. Like, I want the games to come down to it and be hard, and I want me to feel like I need to try that again and I can take a different route, or I need a different character combination, or I need a different spirit in the case of Spirit Island. I like the difficulty in board games. And also I like that the characters have a timer on them, essentially. I mean, I like the way you're describing Zombicide 2 as like a power trip. Like, you eventually get to a point where you just feel like you can run around forever. And it reminds me of games like zombie games and Left 4 Dead and stuff like that, where you get to a point, you've got the gear and you're right next to the checkpoint. You could go in the game, but you just want to stay and kill some zombies for a while.
That happens every time I've played, where people are like, we're ready to end, and it's been like 4 or 5 hours, and everybody else is ready, but this guy's like, well, look, it's my turn.
I can blow up 16 different zombies.
Just let me fight with a couple more things, and that is
I get that, and I think that is totally an appeal in and of itself, and a big difference from Cthulhu. For me, I like that it's on a timer, that the games can't run that long, because you know, like, you will die. It is certain that you will die at a certain point. Every die you roll will have the possibility to add insanity to your insanity track, and that, when you get to the end, you're a goner. I like that aspect. I like the horror aspect. I think that, I can't compare it directly to Zombicide, having not played it, but for me, Cthulhu is such a great experience. I'm excited to come back to this in a year, and I have actually made a video on this topic alone, that it dethroned Gloomhaven, and I don't know if it will stay that way forever. I can say that I have loved Death May Die. Danielle has loved Death May Die. We have played it at least 10 times, over double digits. We have yet to play more than the first 3 scenarios of the core box. There's 6 scenarios in the core box, 6 scenarios in season 2, and 3 scenarios in the Unspeakable box, and we've only played 1, 2, and 3. We've never even beaten 3, and I still love it. I still love it, and I play almost a new character every time. Danielle will almost always play Elizabeth if given the opportunity. It's just the different way we play. But she's branched out her skill trees each different time. She's go with Lucky this time, and Marksman this time, and Sneak that. Whatever. Death May Die is an incredible game. I'm sure Zombicide is too. I'm very much looking forward to giving it a shot. Let us know what you think. Don't let us know Zombicide or Cthulhu. You can if you want, but save that for another video, because we're gonna have a deep discussion on Death May Die versus Zombicide in the near future, once I've gotten some gameplays under my belt. But this is it. We've bared our chests, we've opened our hearts, we've shed blood and tears and sweat.
I feel good.
And I feel pretty good too. I don't feel perfect.
I'm excited to bump some of these out.
Yeah.
Not that I don't love these games. I love them so much.
But some will take its place.
I am so excited to see what we play that takes its place.
Yeah, I just can't wait to look back. I wish we would have done this literally, and we had talked about this when we started the channel. We talked about making our top 10 favorite games of all time our first ever video. Not that anyone would care, because no one knows who we are. No one cares what we're talking about game-wise when no one knows who we are, but I wanted that ability to look back. I do regret not making this video until 6 months into the hobby, but it's finally here.
Well,
our top
channel,
20 the channel, sorry. The hobby as a creator is what I mean. That's a hobby in and of itself, but I regret having not made it already, but I'm excited a year from now to take a look and see how many have moved up or down or totally fallen off the list. I just like to compare those things. I think that when we first started the channel, maybe 10 of these would have been on, or maybe 10 from that would still be here. I don't know. I haven't gone back. I threw my thing across the room. I can't double check, but you're looking right now.
7, 8, 9, 10.
10?
10.
Yeah. See? I'm perfect. I'm right. Anyways, thank you for watching. Let us know down in the comments what you think of our 10 favorite games of all time.
For sure, yeah.
If you haven't checked it out, go look at our 20 through 11 video. It's a little scary to talk about this because
Yawning because it's 11 p.m.
we might get yelled at.
It's not because I'm tired of this. It's because I'm just tired.
It's bedtime.
Content creator life when you have a real job too is a whole other video we can talk about.
That's true. That's true. Thank you for watching. We will see you next time. And let us know what you think of our top 10 list.
Thanks so much for watching sincerely all the way through this. We hope you care.
Yeah, it's been a long video.
Bye,
See you next time.